The movie reviewed in this episode is rated R. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scary Movie Nights Podcast, the bi-weekly podcast where the... Wait,
Scares
what is
are real.
it? Thank you, Mariana. And the friendships...
are realer.
That we need to make that a soundbite.
I like it. That felt good. That was so organic.
That was good, right? Yeah, that was cute. Today, we will be reviewing a newer film, actually, released in 2024, The Substance, with Demi Moore, Queen. That's Mariana.
And that's Joanne.
And we are your hosts for the evening. But first, Mariana, let me ask you, what made you a better version of yourself this week?
I love that. This week, I meal prepped a delicious salad with the most amazing tahini dressing. And it's so good. And the recipe is from this old ass newspaper clipping that has been copied and pasted and sent so many times. So the image is like super fried. But
it's the cryptid of recipes.
Yes, but it's really such a good dressing that it makes eating leaves bearable.
No, literally, because I hate a salad. Actually,
I love
you
salads.
love salads,
but it has to have a really good dressing. I'm not gonna eat a dry salad. So shout out to my friend Alex and her friend Gab for the recipe. So that's how I made a better version of myself this week, because honestly, like, meal prepping has changed my life. Actually having like a decent lunch is amazing, and now if I go without it, like, I feel so bad during the day. So yes, feed yourself. Joanne, what made you a better version of yourself?
Continuing the trend. So I'm going to start eating a little bit less meat.
Okay.
And going a little bit more on like the vegetarian vegan route, a little bit low key. So like I was vegan for about 3 months years ago, and I had the best time. Like, the food's actually really good, and I had so much energy. Like, everything was up, if you know what I mean.
We're up.
But I quit because it's kind of difficult to maintain, actually.
It can be.
And I kind of want to get back into it a little bit more. So I made this really delicious, like, tofu marinade almost. It's ginger garlic.
Girl, I need to put you on.
Girl, let me tell you, I ate some today. My breath did not love it, but my tummy did. It was so good.
I love tofu.
And actually, it's funny that we both talked about
like feeding
food.
Like feeding ourselves good, nutrient rich. There's this restaurant we have to go to. It's called Huey's. It's like a Vietnamese grill, and it's some of the best tofu I've had in a really long time.
I do enjoy tofu, but obviously it has to be like seasoned well.
It's so good. It's excellent.
Have you ever had Rice Box's sesame tofu?
No.
That's like my favorite thing that they make there.
Oh my God.
It is so good, Mar. Like, we need to do it. We need to get it at some point.
Yeah,
we need to get it. But
we should do a tofu party, because Logan makes a really delicious honey sriracha tofu, and it is.
Wait, this sounds like what I'm making.
I take it back. That is the best tofu I've ever had. Is Logan's honey sriracha.
What else goes into that? Because so mine is like ginger, garlic, maple syrup, siracha, and soy sauce.
We do honey instead of maple syrup and soy sauce.
Okay, so it's like literally the same thing. Wait, that's amazing. Okay. So honey is technically not vegan.
True.
Because it's been processed by bees.
True.
But I don't feel like it's bad, because it's like it's not like you're technically farming the bees, but you're not like hurting them. They're happy.
I try to not eat meat whenever possible, but you can pry honey and cheese from my cold dead hands.
See, I'm not a big cheese person, so
I fuck with cheese heavy.
Ice cream, that's more difficult. But there's dairy-free ice cream that's actually really, really good, so I'm not mad about it.
Okay, tea.
But enough about that. Let's pump it up for the substance. 2020,
pump it up.
You know, pump it up. You got to pump it up. Girl, I was twerking during that scene. I'm just letting you know.
I literally, okay.
Even though I don't know how to twerk, but I was
started watching this movie, which has a lot of nudity and a lot of ass in it. And Logan can sometimes feel a little bit queasy with certain movies. And so I was kind of worried about that.
Not because of the nudity.
Not because of the nudity. Because it's a body horror, right?
Yeah.
It's a body horror, though. Because Margaret Qualley is naked, ass out, dancing. And I was like, I don't think you should watch the movie,
I mean,
I don't know if you should watch...
Checking, like, touching her. I'm like, oh, Margaret. I might.
Margaret.
I felt both aroused and envious. I'm like, I want to be Margaret Qualley.
I would agree. Her ass looked insane. Anyway, insane. But yes, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Enough thirsting over Margaret Qualley. Wow.
Enough of pumping it up. No, wait, we already did this. Let's pump it up.
Let's pump it up.
Listener.
Oh, yeah. Let me prompt her. My bad. This is my bad. So, listener, we are going to be starting off with a no spoiler section, meaning if you have not watched the movie, it's safe to listen to. Mar is going to treat us to a beautiful no spoiler synopsis that she herself has written. Yes. And girl, I'm choking. And then she'll treat us to some non-spoilery trivia for you. Yes. So Mar, take it away. And
I totally forgot to label the trivia as spoiler and non-spoiler. So
we're just a mess tonight.
I'm gonna have to dodge.
We're like Frankensteinian.
Honestly, but I'm living. I feel like the energy's great tonight. Like I'm having a good time.
I agree. I'm having a good time. So hopefully listeners are too.
Listeners. Okay, here we go. The Substance 2024 is a body horror film that follows seasoned actress Elizabeth Sparkle, who is set to be replaced in her aerobics show by a younger, newer actress. When presented with an intriguing solution to her problems, Elizabeth injects herself with a substance to release a younger, newer version of herself. But she must share.
Share what exactly?
We'll see.
No one really knows, actually. We don't necessarily know.
So weird. I'm so excited to talk about this movie because it just leaves so much to be discussed. It has pretty minimal dialogue, actually.
Yeah. The lore is minimal, too.
Everything. This movie was written and directed by French director Coralie Farjat. I think I'm saying that right, maybe?
Coralie Farjat, sure.
Who has also, she previously directed a movie called Revenge that got a lot of hype, and it kind of led to her being able to produce and write and direct this film, which she actually wrote completely on her own, so she wasn't being paid to write this. She wrote it, and then she was able to get it produced. It stars Demi Moore as Elizabeth Sparkle and Margaret Qualley as Sue. And we also have Dennis Quaid eating the most disgusting shrimp you've ever seen being eaten on screen. He
played the best asshole ever. I was riveted.
Yes. He played Harvey, who is named after Harvey Weinstein. He's this terrible sleazebag. And actually, Ray Liotta was originally cast as Harvey, but then he passed away 3 months into filming, so he was replaced by Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's kind of interesting. Many years earlier, Demi Moore actually starred in St. Elmo's Fire with Margaret Qualley's mom. I forgot her name, but her hair is tea, curly-haired queen. Okay, so this movie had a $17 to $18 million budget. And it was kind of like an international collab. So it was like France, the UK, and the US.
Nice.
And it took 5 years total from idea to releasing the film. She, Farjat, loosely based The Substance on her short Reality Plus, which she wrote and directed in 2014. And it explores a version of Paris in the near future where there's this brain implant called Reality Plus, and it allows users to see themselves and others with their ideal physique.
Whoa.
And it looks super interesting, and I think we should totally watch it.
Wait, can we do that instead? That way I can just eat whatever I want forever.
There's some interesting themes in this movie that I'm very excited to talk about. When she started writing this, she was in her 40s, and she was kind of starting to confront these negative thoughts about her relevance and her physical appearance. And so this is a quote from her. I really started to think and have these voices in my head like, now your life is over, no one's going to care about you. Which I think like that's one of the central themes in the movie. It's kind of like about the societal pressures of society on women and women's bodies, and I think this kind of can go to the general public. I think everyone feels these pressures
because when you turn 50, it stops.
You're basically dead.
That's the most ominous line, and one of the most ominous lines. When you turn 50, it stops.
And
what stops?
Demi Moore was Demi Moore was 60 when she actually was filming this movie.
Okay.
And also in all of her like scenes that that it's Elizabeth and Harvey, Demi Moore has one line of dialogue in all the scenes between the two of them, which I think is
Does Harvey have the most lines in the movie? I feel like he blabs like endlessly.
Literally, oh my god, this is not a spoiler, but there's like a scene at the end where he's like, it's him and a bunch of investors and they're like meeting Sue. And they're like, okay, we gotta go. And then they all just like run away. Do you remember that? It was so funny. They all just like, they're so excited and they're so happy and I hate them. Okay, this movie, almost entirely the filming took place in France. So all the principal photography took place in France. It was selected France to accommodate the film's extensive shooting schedule due to practical effects work. Also, the country's 40% tax rebate for international productions provided an additional incentive here. So almost all of this was filmed in France. And there's even like Elizabeth's apartment has this beautiful, crazy view of LA, which is a photograph backdrop.
Okay, interesting.
Of LA. Okay. Now, this is not a spoiler, but in one of these scenes, Dennis Quaid, his character Harvey, has this lunch scene with Demi Moore right at the beginning of the movie, and he's eating shrimp in the most disgusting way. And during the filming, Dennis Quaid consumed approximately 4.4 pounds of shrimp.
Jesus.
Granted,
all that protein.
But these shrimp, like, they looked kind of like how crawfish look, where you have to like tear them apart.
Yes.
And really, like a pound of crawfish you're not eating a pound of crawfish. You're eating maybe like 3/5 of a pound of crawfish.
If that.
Like I could confidently, put down 4 pounds of crawfish. Easy.
100%.
Easy. With corn and potato.
Myself.
Truly.
Just give me a little bit of time, girl. A bib.
Some gloves.
Some gloves. I'm good.
I'm in there. But that is kind of funny. I can imagine it would not be as much fun. Like, during this movie specifically, I thought a lot about how uncomfortable the actors must have been shooting some of these things. Not just because of all the nudity, but there's some, like, icky, crazy stuff that happens in this film where I was like, oh, I know they had to do so many takes of that, and I know that sucked.
Yeah.
Now, at the end, there is a movie theater scene that took nearly 3 weeks, and I'll talk about that more a little bit at the end. But initially, they wanted to rent out a real movie theater that was set to be refurbished and like remodeled. But ultimately, they had to go a different way because originally the people who owned the theater didn't realize how much blood was going to be utilized in the scene. And they ended up having to build a theater, and they actually built the theater in the same stage where they had built Elizabeth's apartment. So they like took down the apartment and they built the theater in the same stage. And I feel like that kind of, there's something kind of meaningful about that in a way, but we can talk more about that later. There's a scene in this movie. This movie deals a lot with like aging, and for women specifically, Elizabeth, she's an actress who just turned 50 and she gets fired, and this is the first 5 minutes of the movie. And there's this scene where she's getting ready to go out, and she's just like looking at herself in the mirror, and then she ends up taking her makeup off kind of aggressively. And they did 11 takes of this. And I mean, she's going in. Like,
she is. She's like...
Yeah. And the director...
What a meaningful scene, by the way. I felt so sad.
The director, Farjat, said that this was the heart of the film, and she wanted to get it perfect. But eventually, one of the producers was like, we have to stop. Like, she can't keep doing this to her skin. Like, she's going to be all fucked up tomorrow. Like, her skin is going to be all red. Like, that's too rough on her skin. So they actually, like, had to stop at 11 takes. And, I mean, I think they got it.
They got it.
It looked really good.
100%.
It looked really good. Unless they I went back another day, but I feel like it was really good. But that scene is...
Oh my god, I want to talk about that scene in the spoiler section.
Okay,
so good.
I might have to save some of this stuff for the spoiler section, but the makeup and effects were stunning.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite parts of this movie.
Yes.
I loved it. They used mostly practical effects, so they had all these like very like bespoke prosthetics and makeup, which accounted for 70 to 80% of the effects in the film. So this was mostly practical effects, which actually was more expensive.
Yeah.
But Farjat was like, no, like it needs to be this way.
Well, I can't imagine it having, like, if they had used CGI for some of that stuff. I feel like it would have taken you out of it completely.
I feel like it would have taken you out of it. I feel like the actors wouldn't have been able to deliver the performances that they delivered.
Yeah, for sure.
I do, like, for instance, like the transformation for Demi Moore or even Margaret Qualley, like, Margaret Qualley actually described the makeup, like she had some crazy makeup done, full body, some of it, and she said it was like torture. And she said it was pretty bad because for some of the scenes she had to cry, and she said that all the like snot and tears would get like underneath the layers, and they kept having to glue it down, and it also gave her really bad acne.
Oh.
To the point where there are some scenes that they shot kind of after the fact where she's like walking down the street in like a cute mini skirt and like a cute little bomber jacket with an S on the back, which is so cunt. So good. But they had to shoot those from the bottom without showing her face too much because she was breaking out so bad.
Oh my god.
From the makeup. Okay, so this movie deals with the big overarching theme, per the director herself, is societal pressures surrounding women's bodies and aging, which absolutely. I like about this movie that it's very in your face. Like, this is not a subtle theme at all. Like, it's overly in your face. It goes beyond to kind of like shove this point, but in such a beautiful way. Like, I really love this movie.
It immediately lets you know what it's about, which I actually really love.
First 10 minutes, you know exactly what this movie's about.
When I was looking through the Letterboxd reviews, trying to find, like interesting ones or funny ones or whatever, I saw a couple that people were complaining that it was too ham-fisted. Like, they were like, am I an idiot? What do you... And I was like, you're missing the point entirely.
Yes.
It immediately lets you know exactly what it's about, and then it throws it in your face worse and worse and worse by the minute.
Over and over. And it's beautiful. The cinematography, the set design, the costumes, the parallels
sound design,
throughout the movie, the sound design,
oh my god, like literally
insane. They went crazy. So that's like the big overarching thing, which I really want to talk about later.
Demi Moore won a Golden Globe for this.
Yes, and this was her first big award in many years. She was nominated for an Oscar.
Praise.
I think this movie was like massively snubbed at the Oscars.
I completely agree.
It had some nominations, but
I don't remember what it won exactly, but it was. I think it was snubbed. I think you're absolutely right. And, let me complain just overall. I feel like horror as a genre gets snubbed all of the time.
Guess what it won? I'll give you two guesses.
In the Oscars, Academy Awards, what? Oh, makeup?
Yeah, and hairstyling.
And hairstyling. Okay.
Makeup and hairstyling. Which is like the category most won by horror films at the Oscars.
That makes sense.
Typically. But it was nominated for Best Director, Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Original Screenplay. It did win Best Original Screenplay at the Cannes? How do you say that?
Yeah, Cannes. Yeah.
Cannes Film Festival. And it was nominated for the Palme d'Or, but it lost to Anora, which loved Anora.
Okay.
I think this was better than Anora.
I did not watch Anora.
Oh, Anora's so good. We have to watch it.
I'm down. We wanted to, and we just totally missed it.
My God, Anora was excellent. Great, beautiful movie. I have like a little like I'm biased because I love horror. So I thought that maybe this was a little bit better, but like a little bit.
Horror can be a little niche, so I understand the snubbing, but at the same time, I don't necessarily agree. Like, I understand, but I don't agree. You know what I mean? I feel like, especially certain types of movies winning, I'm like, y'all can look more deeply into shit. Like, it's not like you guys aren't looking at the deeper meanings and like how movies make you feel. So it's not, so like, why are you snubbing horror films so much? Like, I just don't understand that. Also, like, I understand, but I don't agree.
I'm thinking about it a little bit more and love Mikey Madison. Amazing job in Anora. But Demi Moore in this fucking movie.
Oh my God. I mean, I felt things.
Insane.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, let me finish a couple things and then we'll get into no spoilers and then we can fully talk about this movie.
Yeah.
So this movie, I'll just go to release and reception and I have some additional ones we'll do with spoilers. But it grossed, so like I mentioned earlier, the budget was between 17 and 18 million. It grossed 17.6 million in the US and Canada and 59 million in other territories. So worldwide, it was reported to have grossed between 77 to 82 million dollars.
Okay, nice. That's awesome.
It has a Rotten Tomatoes scores of 89%, which
all right.
I disagree, but to each their own. But it definitely did really well in box office. They weren't expecting it to do as well. It was up against some other big blockbuster films, but it actually performed decently its first weekend, and they definitely made their money back and then some.
And then some. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, spoilers.
Yay!
Spoiler?
All right, listeners. So now we're going to move on to the spoiler section. So if you have not watched this movie and you care about it being spoiled, stop the podcast, go watch the movie, please, and then come back and listen to the rest of the commentary, witty musings,
remark, fun,
bardic.
Sexy,
All right, so this is the spoiler section now. I know you had skipped some things.
Yes.
Okay.
The birth sequence where Margaret Qualley is birthed from the back of Demi Moore.
Yes,
took 15 days to film.
Oh my god.
Also, during the whole, oh my god, we have to talk about how little directions there were for this whole substance thing.
Yes, 100.
They were doing medical procedures.
They were literally labeled with one word or two. And I was like, how would I would not have figured that out.
My mom, do you guys have this saying in Honduras, al buen entendedor, pocas palabras?
I don't think so.
To the good understander, few words. My mom literally tells me that all the time, but they're suturing. They're doing IVs.
Yeah. There's no way, bro.
There's no way. But,
I would have been like, how the hell?
But Farjad, the director, actually went as far to perform an actual syringe injection of the activator into her own arm.
No thanks.
To get the shot. Doubling for Demi Moore. How insane is that?
She should have won just for that.
She honestly, also, for that birthing scene, they used a combination of prosthetics on body doubles, but also they did puppetry. So they made these two faceless, hyper-realistic silicone dummies of Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. And they took between 1 and 1.5 months to make these dummies. And it was just a bunch of people kind of puppeteering these dummies to make one come out of the other, which is insane.
That's pretty cool.
The theater scene at the end took nearly 3 weeks. They had a bunch of extras and they actually had to set up showers outside of the studio, outside of the stage, for everyone to shower before they could actually go to change, because they were covered in blood. The special effects team utilized around 5.5 US gallons of fake blood and a fire hose. And I feel like that number is
God, I love
conservative.
That was actually such a great scene. And she's
I'm obsessed. And some of that scene, it was actually Farjad inside of the Elisa Sue suit.
Elisa Sue.
Elisa Sue, Monstro
Elisa Sue suit.
And also the makeup artist, he did some of that as well. He helped with the birth of the boob. The boob of the bird. You know when the boob comes out? That was crazy. That was crazy.
So tell me if you agree with this. The first time I watched that scene, I was like, it takes me out a little bit. The second time through, though, was amazing.
Excellent.
I was like, this is perfection.
Yeah.
And I would not have changed a single thing about that scene at all.
Yes, I love the scene. So for the ending, Farjad had envisioned this monster that she referred to as a Picasso of male expectations. So that was the inspo for Monster Eliza Sue.
Yes.
Now for Elizabeth, so Demi Moore, she has this crazy transformation that had these 5 stages that they labeled. And so right after the birth of Sue, they just had a withered finger, so that was the finger. Then when Sue steals a little bit more time, we have a more aged look that they called Requiem, inspired by Requiem for a Dream. Then we have a hunchback design referred to as Gollum. which was insane. When she comes out of that room and she's like hobbling over,
my God,
and you hear the screams. Also,
that scream like really like shook me to my soul.
How did Sue build a secret room all by herself in a week? How? No contractor, just vibes. Insane.
Just vibes.
The most unrealistic part of the entire film.
She had a screwdriver and a dream.
And she wanted to be famous. And she built a secret room in the bathroom.
She's
crazy.
Like, where do I hide this disgusting creature?
After Gollum, we have Monstro, Eliza Sue, Icon, Diva,
Queen.
I love her. She just wants to be loved.
She does.
I just want to give her a hug.
Me too.
And then we have the Blob, which was so like I love the beginning and the end of the film, which is like with the star and the Walk of Fame, and then at the end the Blob at the star.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I have for us. We can talk about it. Yay!
Okay, great. Okay, so tell me your initial thoughts.
Okay, I love this. I love this. The practical. I'm a sucker for this. Is I think the closest thing in modern films that I have seen to like 70s, 80s body horror and like practical effects, which I love, like a la The Thing.
Yes.
I feel like also it pays homage to like other horror films, like The Hallway, that they come down. That's like at first it's filled with pictures of Elizabeth, and then pictures too of Sue, and then you see it like dripping blood, and like that's an ode to The Shining if I've ever seen one. Which is awesome. There's just so many like she looks like a witch when she's cooking in the kitchen.
Yes.
And she is going feral.
And did you see like the egg beater thing? It was like a chainsaw.
Yes. Chainsaw Massacre. Like
amazing.
Be so for real.
Like Farjat did that. Like she said, how many movie references can we put in here without making them too obvious? Because like a lot of movies will put in a reference and you're like, oh, that's obviously this and this and that.
Yeah.
But like this movie does that and adapts it to what's happening in the movie.
Yeah.
So it's more subtle, but it's like so like impactful, yeah.
I also love how she takes something that we all love, and it's food, and makes it fucking disgusting. To the point where it's even like, why is it more gross than the actual gore that we see later? Some of it.
Well, it's giving, because so like the overarching theme here is like societal expectations on like body and like attractiveness, right? Especially when it comes to women, but that can lead to eating disorders and like unhealthy relationships with food, which you see in this movie, right?
Yes. Okay, I was gonna bring up, because you have that one scene where I have so much I want to talk about. Whenever she's like dancing and she like something pops up on her side, and then she out of her belly button pulls out a drumstick, and it's like it reminded me of that quote. I don't know who said it, but that's like. It's like a minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. I was like, that is the ultimate, and I hate that stuff. I hate those like diet lines. Like I hate which one I fucking hate?
What?
Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Shut the fuck up. Nothing tastes as good as a crab rangoon in my mouth.
Period.
Shut
You've
up.
obviously never had atomic wings or Wingstop.
You've never had sticky rice and mango.
You've never had sticky rice.
You've never had fried macaroni and cheese.
You've never had the soft shell crab pad thai from Traveler's Table. So I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up.
You've never had a turkey leg at the Renaissance Fair, and
after a bottle of mead.
But it was crazy. It's crazy. Like this movie made me feel like that in the best way.
Yeah.
Also, like as far as the theme, which you like brought up, like potentially like eating disorders, like absolutely. I don't know if that's something you did intentionally, but like I totally didn't catch that. You know what Logan said to me that I was like, bro.
What?
But he pointed out that maybe this is supposed to be like a metaphor for like taking care of yourself, like your future self.
Oh, like when you're young?
Yeah, like when you're young, like Margaret Qualley, like Sue is the young, and obviously Elizabeth is the old, and like, you know, what you do in your youth affects you in the future.
I can see that. Like taking away time because you want to do whatever, XYZ.
Yeah, like if you indulge in something or overindulge, like that could affect you in the future. I've seen so many videos lately on my Instagram reels where it's like old people and they're like, you know, I do this exercise so that I can carry bags of groceries. Or I do this exercise so I can put things away in cabinets, like that kind of thing, which is like so true, and I love that. So he pointed that out, and I was like, brilliant. I'm giving him full credit, but I do have to bring that up because I was like, that's so brilliant.
So cool.
And it's crazy because like the whole time, like they don't get to see each other, right? They just see each other passed out, but like, you don't get to meet your older self. Your older self, you know, knows the young you, but not really. Like there's this like almost like disconnect, which begs the question, let me ask, like, because whenever she takes a substance, like a new person comes out, and at the beginning of the movie, this was Logan's first time watching it, and he was like, are they the same person? Like, do they share a consciousness? And they don't really.
Because at the end, they
don't really share a consciousness, and it's kind of like that. Like when you're old, like you're kind of a different person than you were when you were young, and when you're young, you can't even really fathom being older because that hasn't happened, that doesn't exist yet. So it's this disconnect. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is whenever Elizabeth tries to terminate Sue, and then she like regrets it and doesn't finish, and then Sue wakes up and they finally meet like for the first time face to face, and they're both like shocked. And then crazy.
Sue kills.
Oh my God, Sue Elizabeth. Was crazy for that. I was like,
hello?
Sue
That's insane.
Was crazy for that.
Sue was insane.
In Sue's defense, Elizabeth tried to kill her. Like Elizabeth was going to take her out.
I don't know.
But Sue was incredibly selfish, and I think that's something that maybe you are a little bit more selfish with things when you're young, and you take some liberties when you're young that you don't really think about, like how that's going to affect you when you're older. And I've definitely been. I mean, we've been friends for years, but I'm always like, I'll never be 30. I'm going to be young forever. And I'm almost 30.
Yay! The 30s. Your 30s are awesome.
I'm excited for my 30s.
I love my 30s. My 30s are my favorite decade.
Anyway, I just thought that was, that just made me think so many big thoughts, this film.
So I also think that like, and I think I'm going to develop this thought as we talk through it together.
Let's do it.
But like, it's almost about self-love also.
Yeah.
Like it's about like seeing the perfection or the better self in yourself, and then like allowing yourself that love to like respect that, and also not criticize yourself so much, and like be patient with yourself. Because like the better part of Elizabeth, which was according to the movie Sue, was not patient with Elizabeth.
No.
She wanted more and more and more, and like there was always the ambition that was taking life literally away from Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like your inner person, the thing you want to be or idealize, like you have to make sure that you are patient with yourself, because if not, it will rob you of parts of your life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, I have this I posted this actually on the Gamers Discord the other day, because people were asking for like fitness advice and stuff like that. And I told them, okay, I changed my body the most when I learned to just love the body that I have now, like presently, currently.
Yeah.
Instead of always trying to like strive towards something and like thinking I'm not good enough or whatever. There's a quote by Chase Buttigieg, which is Pete Buttigieg's husband. Chasten. He said something to the effect of, I stopped buying clothes for the body I wanted, and I started buying clothes for the body I have now. And it spoke to me a lot about like that amount of self-love and like self-respect that you have to have with yourself. And once I started looking at it from that perspective, it's like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of waiting for me to have this body that I'm striving towards.
Yeah.
I'm just going to buy clothes now. I want to look cute now, and I want to love myself now. And like, once I started doing that, it like stuff really started changing for me. And it's not really even about like, I don't love my body right now, I need to change it. It's more of like, I want to experience that journey, and like, I want to improve myself because I love myself.
And life is like happening to you right now.
Yeah.
Because I definitely had that where I was like, oh, you know, once this happens, then I'll start doing things and then I'll feel happy. And then I was like, no, like life is actually already happening to me. Like this was very much like a man versus self story, or I guess a woman versus self story. But I love everything that you said, and I totally agree. I also, like, for a long time, I was, like, so focused on, like, trying to change how my body looks. And then I was like, I think I need to stop, and I need to, like, accept what my body looks, because right now I'm young, but eventually I won't be. And my body is going to change as I get older, because Logan always says comparison is the thief of joy, and I think a lot of the time we are wary about comparing ourselves to other people, but sometimes we compare ourselves to like our past self, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look like I did when I was 18. I'm almost 30.
Or you compare yourself to an idealized version of yourself, which is what this movie is low-key kind of about. Like,
and like, yeah, maybe I was skinnier when I was 18, but I was also kind of sad and like not as mature and not as confident as I am now.
Right.
And like that's way more valuable than immature younger me. And you can really see that in Elizabeth and in Sue. Because even at the end, like the whole like for the like second half of the movie, Logan was like, terminate it, finish it, stop it. But she couldn't. She was like, no, like that's me. Like I can't like end this part of me.
Right.
And I think that took like some maturity, but it was also kind of sad because it was very like, this is the only beautiful part of me that's left.
Yeah.
So I think you can interpret that in a couple different ways, but
I think both what Logan said and what we just discussed, I think there's like validity in both. And what I love about art, specifically horror films, is that you can take away from it what you want, essentially. Even if the author and director didn't mean it that way per se. It's not that it's wrong, it's just that your experiences and perception of the world shape those ideas, and you grow from that. You know, you learn from that. So I love that. This is such an amazing film. And, you know, also, you know, going back to the theme of women's bodies, no, it's the theme of aging looks, particularly that, like the pressure that, you know, society puts on women to look a certain way or be a certain age. Like, men are starting to feel it, but I feel like gay men specifically have already felt this for a very long time. I don't know how familiar you are with like
I'm more now that I'm friends with y'all, because I remember a while ago y'all were like, yeah, if you don't have abs, you're basically fat, and I was like, what?
True. And so it's very toxic.
Yeah,
you know, this is not something that either one of us believes.
Yeah.
But it's one of those like gay hookup culture, for example. Hookup culture is, or was back in the day, a very integral part of the gay community because of the sexual revolution. And, you know, men express themselves sexually a lot more freely than women do because they're allowed to by society to do so. And so if you're not conventionally attractive, if you don't have abs, probably, if you're not some type of fit or whatever, it's really difficult for you to find connections in the gay world. And, you know, it's one of those things that like even gay men feel the same way that Elizabeth did. Yeah. That guy that she taught, the person who got her into the substance was a man, and he was probably gay. It's LA. So you know, it's LA, and he's a nurse. So you know, I'm not saying stereotypes are.
Twink vibes.
He was giving a little gay vibes, but it's just something that gay men can relate to as well. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I completely agree, and I was gonna say, but it's totally different for gay men, but there are some like mid-looking straight men that straight women are thirsting for. Or like, for instance, like even in the movie, like whenever Sue is hooking up with that motorcycle dude, that guy is so average looking.
Yeah, he's
compared to Margaret Qualley.
It's because he has a motorcycle.
Yes.
Compared to Margaret.
I
mean,
yeah.
Now her boyfriend, the boyfriend she gets in the later on in the movie.
You're so right. No, that was more like it.
Yeah,
that was more like
now you're dating in your leg.
Oh my god, I totally forgot to mention.
And this is the point that we're trying to make. Like so moving on to the next point that that I had is like the attractiveness thing, that thing that we judge each other based on it's completely inescapable. We're like societally and psychologically and almost like biologically wired to judge people based on looks.
You know what the best example of that shit is? You ever watch Love is Blind?
Yeah. Bro, the people who try to get people to describe what they look like. That girl that said she looked like Megan Fox.
Baby girl. No.
Yeah, people tell me I look like her. I don't know. I don't see it though, but like people say that.
I don't see it either, Queen. I'm sorry. Okay, but listen, like Love is Blind is crazy because they are in those pods and these motherfuckers are in love. They're obsessed, they're sure. And I love the reveals because you can almost always tell when they're when they're attracted to their other person and when they're not. And when they're not, even if they freaking vibe, even if there's banter, like it never works out. It never works out. And that's okay. Like
they're in Mexico all sad and shit.
You are not supposed to be like you need to be physically attracted to someone. Like I have dated people that I wasn't that physically attracted to, and then I met someone who was very physically attracted to, and I was like, oh,
you were like,
I'm not the problem. Like I was just, you actually maybe look at matter a little bit. Like looks aren't everything. Like the person should be a good person, a kind person, and a nice person.
You should share some values.
Exactly, definitely. So there are things that are important, but like biologically speaking, like we are picky because evolutionarily that's what makes good babies so that your babies survive. Like that's kind of how it is.
I think it's like
to an extent
for most of us it is biologically inherent to want a sexually attractive partner. And I think if that connection is missing, it's really difficult to maintain a healthy relationship.
You need someone to match your freak for real, like
100%.
Yeah.
But you know, like as we sit here criticizing and talking about how that happens, it's just so inherent. And I think that's one of the reasons why Harvey, even though he's disgusting, makes a point. Like, I forget the point exactly or even the quote that he says, but he makes a point, something about like, this is just what people want.
Yeah. And he's not wrong.
And he's not wrong. I mean, the ratings in the movie and also ratings in like real life, you know, like if there's hot people in that show, people will tune in because let's face it, one of the two reasons that I watch Supernatural is because hot brothers. Okay? Sam and Dean Winchester, please.
You mean girl. 2 of the 2 reasons because they're both hot.
Well, the other reason was horror.
Okay.
But the second reason was 2 hot brothers. Yeah. And I was like, yes, 100%. Please give me that.
It's one of those things where it's like it's so ingrained into like our society and our systems that we would have to like completely dismantle it all in order to truly like
but can you even though, because like we said, like it's psychologically and biologically sort of like inherent. So I don't know that there's ever a way. So one of my students did a senior thesis on the halo effect. Have you heard about this?
Oh, no, I have not.
So like the halo effect essentially at the very basic level is when we judge somebody's abilities or how competent they are based on the way they look.
Because they're hot.
Correct. And there have been studies on this that have shown correlation between somebody's physical attractiveness and their perceived competentness, competency.
Regardless of what their competency
of what their experiences are, their educational levels, whatever, they look better and so they're perceived as more successful or more able. And I think that's just like inherently human, which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is our default setting. It takes work to fight, to then not do that.
You have to actively
slow down, think through the psychology and, you know, but it's pretty privilege essentially is what it is. So, it's instinctual. You want to reward beauty, like we crave beauty in different types of ways, and this is one of them. You know what I mean? And this movie is great. It's just such a great commentary on that specific human experience. And I think it's even more so for women because women experience it daily.
Yeah.
And it's also relevant for gay men because gay men also,
Whenever I do yoga, sometimes, you know how at the beginning of the class they'll be like, I want you to set an intention. I'm not making fun of this. I always very mindfully actually set an intention.
Perfect. No, you're supposed to do that.
But sometimes my intention, I'm like, ego death. And then I was like, what does that really mean though? So I looked it up and ego death is supposed to be kind of like detachment from like your physical being, like completely. Like you are yourself, but you are existing like sort of outside of like your physical body. And how hard that would truly be. Like I think have you seen Fleabag?
No.
Oh my god. The very first episode of Fleabag, who we never get her name, and her sister, who I love, are at this like feminist talk, and the speaker at the front is like, would you give up 5 years of your life for the so-called perfect body? And they both raise their hands immediately and no one else does. And I'm like, I would think about it.
Low-key, I would think about it too.
I think it'd be really hard to like. It's hard not to want those things. And as much as I would love to be a person who's like, no,
dude, imagine that
I'm
comes true,
inside.
and then you immediately die. That means you only have 5 years.
That's crazy.
Whoa,
it's crazy. So I think about that all the time. Where I'm like,
I don't know. I think I'd do it. I think I would do it. I think I would do it. No, actually, no, I wouldn't. No, because TBH, I love the body I have now, so
that's true.
I mean, it's not.
There's so many questions I would have like follow up. Like, is it going to be like this forever? Like, is it going to be functioning? Like, is it like, it's kind of like a genie in a bottle situation where it's like, oh, you have the perfect body, but you smell like onions.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So having talked about everything that we talked about, do you think that you would respect the balance? Or do you think your ideal self would steal from you?
I would respect the balance.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I think she would.
I really think I would, because I think even more so when I was younger, I was always very much a people pleaser. And so I'd be like, oh my god, no, older Mar's gonna be mad.
I can't disappoint my older self.
So I think I low-key might, but maybe not for the best reasons. Would you respect the balance?
I don't know that I would.
Okay,
I don't know that my ideal self would respect the balance.
I mean, if you're... by the way, I want to bring this up. Those were not Margaret Qualley's real boobs. They were prosthetics.
Really?
Which makes total sense, because she came out of that body and she stands up and I'm like, her nipples are this big. Yeah. That is crazy.
I mean,
they're so tiny and perfect.
It's really interesting because like she's supposed to be like the picture
bombshell
perfection thing, right? And it's almost relieving knowing that those were not her real breasts.
And she had to work out like crazy to get her body to look like that.
Because it's like, like the perfection does not exist. So it's like you really need to love your body the way it is, because
or even
nobody's
if it
gonna
does, like sometimes I'm like, gosh, I could like get really on top of it and wake up early even though I don't like it, and go to the gym and like get that perfect body, but then I have to maintain it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much am I willing to change my lifestyle to maintain something like that?
Right.
How much would I be willing to give? Yes. Like, am I going to wake up super early in the morning to work out? And honestly, at this point in my life, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. and that's pretty sweet.
That's amazing.
Pretty sweet.
Good for you, girl.
I get 8 hours and that's pretty good.
Nice.
And so I don't think that's something I would want to give up. And also I was telling them, because I work out at night, I don't wake up early. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm going to work out this afternoon, but then plans with friends come up and I'm not going to say no to friends. So
let's go.
I don't work out as much as I maybe should be.
Yeah.
Or as much as I'd like. I try to get in like 3 good workouts a week minimum. But still, like, it could definitely be more, but are those things I'm willing to give up? And right now the answer is no. Like, I'm not giving up sleep. I want to see my people.
Could you always do more? Probably.
Always.
But it is about like that balance.
Yeah. But
it's about the balance. Whoa. You need to respect the balance.
Whoa, the balance. I've also really come to terms with the fact that sometimes in life, like, you have different priorities at different times of your life.
Yeah,
and like,
for sure.
Right now, at some point in my life, working out was a priority. And right now it's not. I mean, I'm doing it, but it's not like one of my top priorities. Right now I'm trying to be good at my job. That's my top priority right now.
And that's valid.
And then once I'm a year in, I'll start being bad at my. No, I'm just kidding. Once I have a hang of my job, then I can kind of like
easier.
Put that on cruise control for a minute and pivot to other things. But I have so many things I enjoy doing. Like I love knitting. I love sewing. I love painting. I'm always up to stuff, and I don't want to give any of that up per se. So could I give some of those things up to hit the gym and lift the weights? I could, but I'm not at the moment.
You look great anyway.
Thank you.
Let's do the good, the bad, and the spooky.
Let's do it.
What's your good?
The special effects and makeup, and also the clothing. I forgot to talk about the clothing, but Demi Moore's
they ate
fucking yellow coat. Custom, bespoke, made, by the way, and she kept it.
Really?
Good for her.
Good for
they
her.
They could not find the right color, so they made it custom.
Brilliant coat.
I love the
coat.
I love the close-up acting.
It's so iconic.
Demi Moore actually talked about how Farjat was one of the first directors that she's worked with who starts with the close-up shots first and then goes to the wide shots. But I loved it. The acting was excellent. Like, the movie is not super dialogue heavy, but it really gets so much across. Also, like the minimal dialogue goes as far as to like the minimal directions for how to use the substance. It's insane. It feels like everything for the movie was so intentional. The set design, I love her apartment. I feel like her apartment speaks so much about who she is as a person. I just love this movie. Like, the theme, it so aggressively hits it on the nose. It's beating a dead horse in the best way.
Yeah.
Joanne, what's your good?
I loved the pacing.
Yes.
For this movie, and I didn't even realize until you mentioned it, but there's so little dialogue in this film, but so many things, so many emotions are shown, so many plot points are just shown. They're demonstrated.
Literally
they're not
show, don't
spoken. Tell. The body horror. Amazing.
Gagged.
We didn't even touch on that too much.
We literally the tip of the iceberg of the body horror.
Bro, oh my god. First of all, when you see her finger, gag. When her fucking leg.
When she's trying to straighten her knee.
Or bend it or whatever the hell she's trying to do, and it cracks. I'm like, ugh.
Logan and I were watching like this. We were like,
like literally. And then she like sighs and like laughs, and you like feel the relief with her.
Yes.
This movie made me feel so many things.
So good.
I love Monstro Elisa Sue, which we did not talk about. She is the queen. She is the moment.
I love her. I wanna give her a hug. She just wants to be loved.
She just wants to be loved. She's curling her one strand of hair, and then it falls off.
Have you seen the video of that girl? It's like a vine, and she's curling her hair, and it falls off.
Oh no!
And it like reminded me of that.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
She puts in her earring. She just
squishes them in.
Whenever somebody cuts a part of her body off, she just grows it back. She's nonchalant. She's unbothered. She's the
literally
Lulu.
Versatile queen.
Literally, when she's walking in the hallway and everyone's like, "We love you," and there's no one there, giving delusion. The Shining also. That was probably okay. So, like I said, the first time that happened, I was taken out of it a little bit. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, "What?" But the second time I watched it, it just hits different, bro.
And she's wearing this Cinderella dress. I just kept thinking, like, that looks like Cinderella.
Turning into a pumpkin and like midnight, bro. And
Crazy.
It's like New Year's countdown. It's midnight countdown. That's such a good point. Like Cinderella. Like, if you've only ever watched The Substance one time, I really encourage you to watch it a second time because it really hits different the second time.
It really does.
The colors in the movie.
The colors.
Amazing, weirdly bright.
So bright.
The cinematography is great. Like we said,
the choices. I love the bathroom.
Choices.
The bathroom was so like sterile.
It's sterile,
white, bright, like fluorescent lights. But it's the perfect setting because the bathroom is so important for the whole movie. But it's like, who would have a bath? A super movie star would not have a bathroom like that. Why does she have that? It's this focal point of the movie. It's almost like a womb.
And another thing of like, because what surprised me is like they just left each other's bodies on the floor. Like when they would switch, they would just leave them on the floor, and I'm like, damn, y'all can't like get a bed in there for each other or something like that.
Or like you don't have to do that in the bathroom. Like you can do it in a spare bedroom. Like
or something like that. Keep it locked or something. And it just kind of goes to show how little they sort of cared for each other.
Yeah.
And it's again about self-love and like, hey, make sure you take care of yourself. Because you are one,
You are one.
The music and sound design.
The sound
design. It's so good. Dude, this is amazing. And it just goes to show when people of different nations come together, what we can achieve as a global community. The French are real, realer. The friendships are realer. What's your bad?
Je suis cringe.
Je suis cringe.
Je suis cringe. But je suis free. Je suis libre. Okay, my bad. I don't have a lot of notes. Not enough Monster Eliza Sue. I love her. I wanted more.
Monster Eliza Sue.
Also, justice for Elizabeth's high school friend who she no-showed at the restaurant on that date. Which, okay, that leads to that incredibly important, the heart of the movie scene where she's wiping the makeup off. So it is important for furthering the film. But he was so sweet and he's like, you're still the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah. Although he was a little weird because he gives her his number and then he drops it in a muddy ass puddle of water.
That was crazy.
And then he like hands it to her like, here, this is fine. You have a whole ass paper there, my dude. Just rip off another part.
I thought that. I thought also it's like,
come
it's
on.
his like blood results from like the doctor. My guy. Also, you have phones. Like just put your phone in her number. Like something else. He was kind of weird, but I felt like and then he's like messaging her like, hey, are you okay?
she fucked that up because she was looking for validation from him. And that's where she messed up.
That's true. But I felt bad for him still.
She didn't know for sure, 100%. He's the real victim in all of this.
Men are the real victims. As always.
Oh my god, but yeah.
What's your bad?
I understand people's complaints of the message and meaning being conveyed too obviously, but I don't feel like it's a problem at all because it really drives home. It's like the message and the whatever is too obvious, but so are beauty standards.
Yeah.
It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And I think that the director here really did a great job at turning that on its head and being like, well, here's the obvious problem. Now I'm going to disgust you for the entire movie.
It's like unapologetically like not objective. Like this movie is like...
It's like, I'm going to tell you exactly what I fucking think about this. And you're going to sit here for 2 hours and listen to my point.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. I think that it, like, instead of being subtle, because I like subtle movies, it's like the like super obvious and extremely well done and entertaining. So that's very good.
Joanne, we didn't even talk about like body modifications to reach these ideal beauty standards.
There's so much here to hit on.
We didn't even talk about that.
The substance,
GLP-1s,
I feel like,
liposuctions, Brazilian butt lifts, like literally, we could keep peeling off layers.
One of my favorite movies. It's just like The Witch. There's layers there. It's just like Sinners. There's tons of layers there. I mean, these movies that have layers upon layers. It's just like Get Out, for example.
Yeah.
Like, all of these movies are so incredible, and this is definitely a standout horror film in the history of horror, I think.
I agree.
And I also think that the real villain here is beauty standards.
Absolutely.
What's your spooky?
My spooky... the movie makes you feel very uncomfortable. Like there are some times where you're like, oh.
Yes.
And the sound design, the squelching.
Yes.
It's the way that Eliza Sue has like a weird placenta attached to her. Or like whenever Sue pulls out her teeth, or Dennis Quaid eating shrimp, like it's meant to make you feel gross. And that's but I think ultimately the scariest part is beauty standards and like what they're doing to people individually, but also us as a society. I think also like we could talk about social media here and how like, reality TV plus her like short that she made where you like, alter your brain to see yourself and others in a certain way. Like that's kind of what Instagram filters and Photoshop and Facetune does sort of already. Like this is truly like, we could talk about social media and like the damage that that's doing, I think, to children seeing these people in these bodies that maybe don't look like that or maybe don't look like that all the time. These people are posing, they're posting the pictures with the good lighting.
Hell,
All
like,
that stuff.
It damages adults.
Yeah, I feel personally damaged.
You know what I mean?
By
Like
this,
me.
so
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Unrealistic standards here. Yeah.
What about you? What's your spooky?
I wrote pretty much the same thing that you just said. Like, on the surface level, the movie is cringe as hell, but not like in a bad way, but like in like a way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Everything from when Elizabeth births
crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Like, her having to sew her up.
Yes.
That was insane.
That was very Frankenstein vibe.
Yeah, Frankenstein vibes. The syringe extraction of the spinal fluid.
Oh my god, when she was going back in. Oh my god.
And then the last extraction is like black and like gooey and stuff.
It's
my god.
It's moldy. It's crazy.
It's disgusting.
So good.
Food addiction, like all of those vibes. I love the witch vibes, by the way, when she's cooking and making her stuff. That's like on the surface. Below that, what's spookier, of course, is like the relationship that us as consumers have with beauty. And do we really care about these people, or do we just care about what they look like?
Yeah.
And the scariest is that we're all part of this system, and like we talked, it's almost biologically and psychologically baked into us and is inescapable. You will be fighting that your entire life if you try to become mindful of it. And I think that's the spookiest part. It's like,
I agree. It always comes down to like the real life shit. That's
the real life shit is the scariest. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Okay, let's rate this movie by how many boobies would grow on your monstro forms. How many boobies would Monstro Mar have?
5 boobies.
Period.
John, how many boobies would Monstro
I would have 5. So we'd have an even number between the two of us.
Together we have 10 boobies.
Monstro Mar Joan.
Monstro Mar Joan. I love that.
Wait, we need to make this into a concept.
Yes, I love it.
And now we're going to read you some hilarious Letterboxd reviews. Mar, you go first.
Okay, this is by Jack Salvadori. Yet the most unbelievable thing is that she built that secret room all by herself.
Literally.
With what know-how? Like,
I have no idea.
Girl, crazy.
Like the tile was like perfectly split. Like you could barely. It's like a secret door. There's no way. I would have cracked everything.
She needs to go into contractor work, really.
Yeah,
that's where the real money's at anyway.
She's got a backup plan.
She's set.
In case her show fails.
Yeah. Okay, John, next one.
This one's by Huge as Mammoth. 5 stars. Somehow the nastiest thing is this film was Dennis Quaid eating shrimp. Yeah. 100%.
But I must say, that's what I look like when I eat crawfish.
Just like,
I'm afraid I kind of look like that when I eat crawfish. Wait, I got crawfish at work last week, and my coworkers, I was like, I'm sorry you'll have to see me like this, because I was in the lunchroom eating crawfish.
Be ready to witness something.
I was like, I guess we're there. We are there because I'm going to eat this. Okay, this is by Alex Vlahob. I would fuck up those directions so bad.
Literally.
Girl, what direction?
What direction? Just one
Step
word.
Step 1, 1 word. Step 2, 1 word.
Food
Step
matrix.
3,
food other self. Food new self.
Literally, like.
What?
Why use more word if you word the trick?
This one's by Jer. Barbie for people who listen to Charlie XCX. That's amazing.
Okay. This is by Elvis the Alien. Only in the best films ever made will you find a titty birthed from a face pussy.
She's like, is this what you want?
That was
literally, what if she did that on purpose?
The shot of like it comes out and then it just hangs and you can see the audience in the back and then it drops to the floor.
Okay, that was a jump scare in my opinion, because like, first of all, that thing has an umbilical cord.
Yes.
So she like bursts it out.
Yeah.
And then it hangs and you're like, ooh. And then I was not expecting for it to drop. When it dropped, I was like, oh. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
I fully thought that someone was gonna step on it at some point and it was just gonna
Yeah.
Okay.
And that about does it for today. I'm drained. This movie is so good,
dude,
y'all.
Even when Eliza Sue falls apart at the end, she basically explodes, and it's like they fell apart trying to reach these beauty standards. Literally, it's crazy.
Literally. Thank you for joining us, listener. If you enjoyed the podcast, tell your friends about us, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and rate us 5 stars in whatever app or podcast service you use to bring on the spooks.
Please follow us on our socials by going to scarymovienights.com or looking us up on any platform. You can also message us through our socials or by sending an email to spooky@scarymovienights.com.
Tell us in the comments what you think about the Substance 2024. How many boobies would your monstro grow? That sounds kind of nasty. Yeah. I'm Joanne.
I'm Mariana.
And thanks for joining us for another Scary Movie Night. See you in 2 weeks. Stay spooky.